Welcome to Toria's 50th The Walkthrough. This is going to be the sort of guitar tutorial for this tune. I thought it'd be a nice thing to do because lots of people have been recording this tune and sticking it online, and it seems to be a little bit of a challenge for tune players. It's quite a tricky melody. So yeah, I just thought it would be nice to add the guitar side of stuff onto it too. So this is a tune written by Laura Wilkie, who is a brilliant fiddle player who lives in Glasgow, and we recorded the tune with Canara's Quintet, so it's on our album. Hopefully after this, if you fancy, you can always go and play along with the track itself. So I'm going to talk you through just from the moment in I believe this is probably 2 tracks on the album, but so the beginning where the quavers start for Toria's 50th, all the way through that track. So I'm going to talk you through the whole lot, and I made myself a list as well of different things that I need to do. So I'll do this walkthrough, and then I'm going to give you some chord boxes of just general bits and pieces that I use, and also a wee practice track playing it through a bit slower, and then a practice track a little bit faster as well, so that you can practice playing along. I thought that would be quite nice. The chords wise, it's difficult because I use quite specific chords, and I guess I feel a little bit like my left hand knowledge of the guitar and go-to chords that I have is really not that wide. It's just that what I'll do is I'll add lots of different extra notes in, depending on where I am in the chords. So the basic fundamental chords that I use are probably quite similar through a lot of things. It'll just be little touches that I'll do that are slightly different, or stuff with my right hand that's different as well. So yeah, okay, so I'm going to just try playing it through from the top. Now 1A is just E quavers for ages, okay, so it's just like that, okay. So I'm going to go for 1B because it makes it a bit easier to count in my head without actually hearing the tune at the moment. So for 1B it goes 2A, So that is the whole of Toria's 50th guitar accompaniment. So let's go from the top of that again. So as I said before, there's E quavers at the top in 1A. Bit like that. And then 1B, there's a wee line that I play. So I try and keep the E quavers going, but I add in. Okay, so. Oh. Alright, so that's the wee line there, so that's the first time through the tune. Second time through the tune, what I do is I'm still playing these quavers at the end of 1B, so and while I'm still playing that E, I'm up here getting my next chord ready so that I can hit it without dampening anything. So this is 2A. So for 2A and B, I would say, that's the precise thing that you're doing. But for me, it's more about the energy. I think a lot of the stuff that we do in Canaris Quintet it's energy first, and then maybe this is the wrong way to say it, but precision second. It's the two things come hand in hand, but it's really about the energy and putting all the power into what it is that you're doing, and not trying to think too much about being precise, and just letting the whole thing just kind of go with the flow. So if you accidentally hit an extra string when you don't mean to, as long as it's the right note and you're in the right chords, don't worry so much about it. It's more about the energy. So with your right hand, you've got that going on. Okay, so 3A of the tune is when the octave comes in as well, so stuff's really, really fat and really, really big at this point in time. So I'm being quite blocky with my right hand, but I'm using the same chords in the third time through as I use in the second time through, so it's just a bit more chunky and a bit more direct. And then the rhythm that I'm doing with my right hand at this point, I'm using chopping, which Laura Beth uses loads on the mandolin as well. And it's really hard to work out what this is now. Okay, so I guess you go, I'm pretty much always going down, up, down, up, down, up. Like that maybe. So you've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, like that. So the chop comes on the 5. Like that. And you've got wee kind of accents that are like. And I guess when you stick the two things together, the accents plus the chop, you get. A bit like that, okay, and I'm sort of dampening with my left and right hands as well. So there's a lot of random things going on there to make that rhythm. But that gives you a kind of idea of what it is. So that's 3A and B are just using the same chords, but that chunky thing. So 3B is it's kind of like you've been going like this and then you just sort of drop off a cliff, okay? So you space everything out loads, but I still got to have that kind of drive going to it as well, so I break up into, rather than the piano being quite chunky like that, in sort of the third time through, now you're kind of going like this a lot more instead, so it's really sparkly, okay? I'm using C sharp minor here, and then I'm using, I'm just taking off the bottom string, dampening it, and using the A as my bass instead, like that, so that's my 2 chords, and then just going back to the E and over to the A again as well, so you back into the tune again. The 4th time through the tune is, yet again, it's really big and really chunky, but you've saved a bit of energy from 3A, so 4A is just that bit bigger and that bit more euphoric. Always helped with a stomp box and an octave pedal as well. Going like that through the 4th time through, same chords as earlier, and in 5A, just to change things up a little bit, we go to half time. So rather than going 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, you're now going 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and so I'll compare the two. So 4A is just standard timing as the tune was from the top. 5A is half time, so I'll play 4A and I'll play 5A just after it so you can hear the difference between the two. So 4A goes between those. As you'll hear, my subdivisions are always going. The sort of ticka 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 is always there. It's really, for me, it's just making sure that every beat that I play has the correct length and that the groove's sitting in the right place. And I guess it's like a hi-hat, perhaps, if you're playing the drums. Anyway, the last bit that we need is the ending. And what I'm using is I'm basing it around that E5 chord, but then I'm just using octaves. I'm just using, so that's the A string and the G as well, and you can octave all the way up. I use that quite a lot. So it's the same line sort of as the one that started it in 1B, and it goes. Like that, so. Okay, and that is Toria's 50th. Cheers.